Hi, this is Frank Schaeffer, and I'm in my car waiting to pick up my granddaughter at school. And nothing concentrates the mind in terms of obligation to community, to family, to country, to life, to love, than one's grandchildren and one's children, or the people that we are caregivers to, whether that's an old parent or a friend who's ill. It's one of those moments in life that we stop and consider what matters most to us. As a parent and grandparent, of course, what is being done to the Ukraine and the murder of a civilian population by Vladimir Putin just strikes the heart of where any compassionate, empathetic person lives. We can picture all too easily ourselves in a situation where the school our grandchild or child is at is being bombed, where our neighborhood library is bombed, where the maternity hospital where a sister or a lover or a friend is having a baby is bombed and she dies in delivery. These are circumstances which boggle the mind. But we look back on the great tragedies of history like the Holocaust and we say, why didn't they do something? We're in a moment like that. And it seems to me, I had a son serve in the Marine Corps and he fought in Afghanistan and Iraq. So I've put my heart on the line in my family in terms of service. Not me. I don't claim for a minute to have done that. But when you have a son in harm's way, it concentrates the mind, just like picking up a grandchild at school. And all I can say is that when you look at a tragedy unfolding in the Ukraine and you realize there is more we could do, just like we could have bombed the railroad tracks of the trains to Auschwitz and stopped the cars loaded with thousands of Jews and gypsies and gay people and others who were being murdered by the Nazis. We really need to ask ourselves a question, and that is there more we could be doing as a country and as people? And there is. You see, the military and our bureaucracies and our government and our president and the Congress are always fighting the last war. That's not their fault. Leadership is tough and you're trying to be cautious. But one of the things we're learning from this war is that we have vastly overestimated the capabilities of the Russian army. It is genuinely a Potemkin army, a fake army. There is no there. A group of civilians armed rather poorly still is holding them at bay, and all the Russians are left with is the ability to massacre civilians from a safe distance with artillery, aircraft, and rockets. Because in combat, they're losing. And they may not be able to hold out that much longer. I'm talking about the Russian army. And the Ukrainians might win. And it is time for us to adjust to the fact that the threats and the hubris and the chest pounding of Vladimir Putin and all his servile, lickspittle people with him who are talking about using nuclear threats and all the rest of us to keep us scared is a lot of hot air. At some point, his own security forces are going to take him out, one way or another, either arrest him or remove him in some other way. At some point, this whole house of cards comes down. We just need to hang in there. But in the meantime, the Ukrainians could deal with a lot more support. Instead of us being so afraid and saying, well, we'll give the support incrementally, we have to see which way it goes, talking about exit strategies for Putin. How about this for an exit strategy? We back the Ukraine to the hilt. We give them every single drone at our disposal. We give them heavy artillery and the radar to guide the artillery so that it can fire on other artillery, decimating their orphanages and their daycare centers and their veterinary hospitals and their homes. That we give them the state-of-the-art weapons short of going into combat ourselves. That will actually allow them to beat the Russians and show once and for all the hollowness of this saber-rattling, chest-thumping fool, Vladimir Putin, and come out the other side having taught the world a lesson, and that is that democracy and freedom are stronger than oppression. So sitting outside this school waiting for my granddaughter, I can just say, I have empathy for the people in the Ukraine whose schools are being destroyed. I have empathy for the people who are sitting there vulnerable because we are incrementally parceling out our aid. We should have done this before they invaded, but now they have invaded. Come on, guys, not $200 million. We need to be talking billions. This is our chance to send Putin packing. This is our chance to destroy his regime. to totally discredit him across the globe, to send the Chinese a message about the strength of democracy. And so I urge those who support our President Joe Biden, like I do, to write an email to the White House saying, do more for the Ukrainians. Do more to help them protect themselves. Have confidence in the Ukrainians as the Russian military collapses and they have to resort to long-distance murder of civilians because they cannot fight straight up as soldiers do and instead have to murder civilians at a distance. Send them a message by sending our government a message and saying more help for Ukraine, all the drones they can use at the most sophisticated level, armed with Hellfire missiles, more anti-tank weapons, heavy artillery with the radar systems to guide that artillery fire to knock out the artillery that is murdering children in daycare centers as we speak, places just like the school here I'm about to pick my little girl up at. I beg you, let's not look back 20 years from now the way so many generations did at the Holocaust, saying, where were we? Why didn't we do more? Well, this is our chance to do more. Glory to the Ukraine. My name is Frank Schaeffer.